there's a little note on the back of this. Start here. What does it mean? Hello to all of my friends out there in YouTube land. It is your good buddy Philtastic Phil here, and I'd like to welcome you back to my channel. Before we get started, to call out the elephant in the room, you may notice I haven't been using intro and outro music lately. There is a reason for that maybe I will tell you in the near future, hopefully the near future at least. Instead, I've replaced it just with the sound of my little boy laughing, which is better than any song I could think of anyway, at least in my opinion. And if you don't agree with me, if you think some song beats my little guy laughing, it's my opinion that maybe you're just not a nice person. But we'll have to agree to disagree. Anyway, I have a very special unboxing today from a great YouTuber, a YouTube friend, Joe from Anachronic Comics. I was going to say if you're from the North Pole or something and you just don't know Joe, but really those people have YouTube. So if you live in the North Pole and you don't know Joe, you really don't have an excuse. I highly recommend you check out Joe's channel. Anachronic Comics, again, I could say it, Chad can't. One of the gigantic differences between us, because I hate Chad. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will put a card somewhere on this screen. I know it's been a while, but I still don't know where it pops up when I edit these. One of the things I like about Joe, look, everybody does unboxings. Every comic book channel, I should say, does unboxings. Everybody does basically a show and tell saying this is my favorite book and this is why. But every single time I watch Joe's channel, again, Anachronic Comics, of course, after I dug on Chad, I would mispronounce it. I learned something new. It's almost like kind of like a history channel, but more exciting and doesn't go through any kind of weird phases like the History Channel does. Anyway, one of the cool things about this is that Joe has included a note in these, and I like personalized notes. I should mention, by the way, I started to open this up only because when it arrived here, we were getting just like torrential rains here in Jersey, and I happened to catch the box on my camera, and I was like, oh no, this might be soaked through. So I brought it in and just opened up the top to make sure no water got to the books. I didn't look at the books. Everything looks okay. So let me just read this quick note to you. Hi, comic book guys and gals. Then he scratched it out to put my name, which is a very cool thing. Thanks, Joe. Thank you so much for helping me support the Tunnels to Towers Foundation. I did mention, by the way, this is a charity unboxing. And Joe, to be honest with you, went into a little description about the charity. From what I understand, they supply Gold Star soldiers and their families with mortgage-free homes. Really, check out Joe's channel because I can't really express it as well as he did. And look, even if you're, because he's sold out of these mystery boxes, he only offered 15 of them. But you can get some additional chances at a prize I'm going to go into in a few minutes. But look, if you're just willing to donate or feel like you want to donate to something worthy, I would suggest that you check out Tunnels to Towers Foundation. And if you're like me and work for a big company who matches donations, perfect, great. I did that during Comics Curing Cancer. They matched my donations. And as somebody who at one time was involved with, I think, 5 or 6 different nonprofits at once, every little bit helps. So let me continue here. Tunnels to Towers Foundation, through your purchase of 1 or more mystery boxes for charity this year. Each mystery box includes postage and a chance to win a signed Punisher 2 slab from Mike Zeck. You can buy additional chances for $10 each. Go check out Joe's channels for more information. The winner of the slab will be picked during a live show shortly after the event closes on December 24th, so after Christmas Eve. Thanks again for helping our wounded servicemen, the families of deceased first responders, and Gold Star families. I really appreciate you, Joe. And Joe, I really appreciate you, sir. So let me go ahead and unbox these. To be honest with you, I don't know what Joe has in these. The Punisher slab would be nice, but really the thing that attracted me most to saying I have to do this was the fact that he's doing this for a good cause. And really at that point the comics are kind of secondary. But let's go ahead and take a look. So without showing you anybody's address, packed it really well. No rain got into it. Bubble wrap, not peanuts, because peanuts are the bane of existence, everybody's existence. And he included a very cool Anachronic Comics sticker, which I wanted one of these for a while. You might see me squinting. I don't have my contacts in, by the way. I don't have any one of these. I'm going to add this to my collection, but I have always admired the sticker on Matt Wood's bookcase for Anachronic Comics. Again, I said it right. Okay, so then this is going to go into recycling. Oh, ooh, this is fancy. An Anachronic Comics button as well. This will also go in my collection. Oh, I thought I wasn't recording for a minute, and that's happened before. Okay, more bubble wrap. Double bubble wrapping. And by the way, he's got kind of a little message. I consider this a hidden kind of handshake, I guess, if you will, that from the Gibbon gang. He's got his Reggie tape on the bottom of it so that my mailman knows where to kick it. And the comics themselves are wrapped up very nicely too. So we'll put this aside for recycling. I will take this off. And he's also got the red Gibbon tape as well. A little strand of bubble wrap that really wasn't doing anything, I guess. But that's okay. I appreciate any and all protective measures. And wow, right off the bat, I think I got more in Joe's mystery box than I have in any other mystery box. Look at that stack. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, this is a Jeff Johns era JSA. Issue number 58. I was actually reading JSA during John's run. Not this far up. I think I was only doing the, I could be wrong, the Alex Ross covers. Was never into JSA, but I'll definitely give this a read. I know that's Atom Smasher from the Black Adam film. So I'll put this aside here. And again, I have to bring this annoyingly close to my face because I don't have my contacts in. This is very cool. Justice League of America number 98. Wow. Oh, it would be helpful if I showed it to you, I suppose. Very, very cool. I like these kind of older style books here. Wow, this is strange. This kind of looks like they're doing a seance. I can't imagine how they got that passed. Yeah, because it's got the approved by the code thing. Because isn't that considered like, not sacrilegious, I can't think of the word. Look, it's the end of the day, I just got done with work and wanted to do this. Next one, Mystery in Space, number 908. I'm not familiar with this, but this is a very cool, like old style sci-fi cover. And again, I'll turn this around so that you see that as well. Very, very cool. I don't go too deep with older DC, so if I just pulled something huge, which I'll find out later, and you're like, wow, he's so casual about it. No, I just don't know. This is something I do know from my youth, though. G.I. Joe number 56. Yellow cover. Good shape for yellow cover. You've got Scarlet on that, and I think, is this Roadblock, if I remember right? I don't know. I've got to go back and look. Another JSA from the Jeff Johns era. Very cool. Black Rain. I wonder if this has anything to do with Black Adam. Number 57. Again, from around the same time. I think it was 2004. I'm trying to avoid that ring for you. Here you go. I'm not trying to pose with it. Okay, so we'll put that over here. In fact, I'll let my little OCD side kick in for a second. Okay, good. I put the 57 on top of the 58 because that's how it's going to go away. And by the way, I didn't mention this yet. Joe, thank you for bagging and boarding these because that's very helpful. This is super cool. I have a couple of comics like this, not this particular one. This is a reprint of Amazing Spider-Man number 300. It looks like you got this from Midtown, but it is a 3D facsimile, I guess you could say. And yeah, you could see he got it from Magtown, Midtown. Very, very cool. I like that a lot. I have the, I can't think of the number, the Uncanny X-Men with Captain America and Black Widow on the cover, the Jim Lee art. Oh, here's one. I'm an instant millionaire now. If I went back to last year, I guess. Youngblood number 1. Oh, there's a little note on the back of this. Start here. What does it mean? Hidden message. or probably just a misplaced sticky note. Anyway, Youngblood #1. I'm very familiar with Youngblood. I didn't read a whole bunch of Youngblood back in the day. I think I just tried to get a couple of the tie-ins with what's his name? Chapel. Because if you remember, if you think back, you might remember that initially he was the character who killed Al Simmons, aka Spawn, and then due to some contractual things, I remember they had to change that. This is actually a book I've been thinking about getting. I never kind of pulled the trigger on. America Chavez #1. This is a variant. This is her limited series, which I didn't collect. You know, I don't have any kind of affinity, I guess you could say, for America Chavez. I liked Young Avengers, but I've never sought out a book just because she's in it. I did enjoy her in the Multiverse of Madness film. I know not many people enjoyed that movie for some reason, but what can you do? Gotham City Villains Anniversary Giant #1. This is a thick one. I have, you know what, I have, this must be a variant, because I know I have the regular cover, because I know Danny DeVito did a Penguin story in this one, which I didn't care for, but this is a cool cover, and I appreciate that very much. Here is one that it looks fancy. It is fancy. Oh, this is, wow. Wow, wow, wee wow, as they say. And I'll show it to you now because I'm teasing you at this point. This is a Vampirella #1, 1 in 75. Yes, here we go. Signed by J. Scott Campbell. I can guarantee you 1,000% my wife is going to hate this book. J. Scott Campbell, of course I know J. Scott Campbell. I'm much more of a fan of his earlier work, Gen 13 back in the 90s. I kind of feel like, and I think Madam Blaster may have pointed this out, I apologize if I'm wrong on that. I kind of feel like his newer work, he tends to just kind of switch the heads of the female figures or characters. This one actually doesn't look too bad like that. I mean, it's a nice cover, it's a nice signature, and you've got that J. Scott Campbell COA. If I ever order from CBCS again, that's something I would consider sending in. Next, and I may have this one, I gotta check. This is SpiderMan #16. We were talking about Spawn earlier, you know, Todd McFarland. This is Todd McFarland art. I remember in the early 2000s, I think they had done the annuals for X-Men like this and tried to sell it as a widescreen annual. I don't know if the whole issue for this one is like that. Oh no, it does say it. How about that? Special sideways issue. Considering the book opens like this, I think that might be annoying. Okay, here is one I'm not familiar with. I think this is Walking Dead. How about this? I'm going to show it to you, then I'm going to open it. And there's probably people screaming at me saying now, like, oh, don't you know what you have? But I've never read Walking Dead. I only watched one episode of the show. It just wasn't my bag. Okay, so it's, again, as I try to avoid the ring, it's a black and white cover. I know that's Negan, I think, and I thought this was Invincible for a second, but I don't think that's him. So let's open her up and see what it is. And again, just to warn you, this is going to go annoyingly close to my face. Skybound X, or Skybound 10, I guess, #4, July 2021. So it's a anthology, I almost said analogy. Again, I'm just exhausted. My brain is shot after work. And it's got a couple stories in here. Rick Grimes 2000. So there you go, there's The Walking Dead. Excellence. Sea Serpent's Air, don't know those. Redneck, I'm familiar with. And that's it. And this cover, I don't know who did the cover. Is it Kirkman? It might be. I don't know. Charlie Adlon. It might be Carrie Randolph. I don't really know. I'm going to have to research that. And then when I edit this, I'll put some text on it. again, forgive me. I'm doing this right after I got done with work because I felt like doing it. And clearly I should have probably waited because my brain is kind of mush right now. And the last one, this is the bigger Silver Age, I guess. A Royal Feast of Fun for All Ages, King Comics, Volume 1, Number 5. Not familiar with this at all, so I got to definitely look this up. And you know, because I'm not familiar with a few of these, I'm just going to put little blurbs at the bottom once I know what I have here, I guess. And again, at the bottom it says, "Enter now for our second grand free painting competition." Hopefully, I have enough time to enter that. Yeah, L. Miller and Son, Ltd., London. That's pretty cool. I mean, cover-wise, I don't know if these guys were pilots and like jumped out of a plane and got stuck, kind of like in what was that Mel Gibson movie from the 80s? I don't even know. And now this Panther's like, oh great, I got lunch. Or maybe it's like a super painter. Yeah, Super Panther. So I guess that means I'm kind of, and it's in 6D. I don't know what that means. So I guess me flubbing again means I'm probably tired enough where I should take a break and come back before I look up all the values of these. But you won't realize that because of essentially time travel. But anyway, in the meantime, I want to thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and share with your friends. If anything to say, look at how tired this guy is. He can't really talk. But again, regardless, thanks again for watching. I appreciate you doing so. Peace, love, and comics. Take care. A little bit of a post note. I am such a mush brain right now. I totally forgot to, number one, say thank you to Joe. Please apologize my rudeness. For the great books and really for doing something great like this. And if you'd like an opportunity to win the Punisher slab with a donation, of course, I'm going to put a link to Joe's channel. And look, go there too, because Joe's channel is great. I love the espresso mail call. See, I almost did it again. And yeah, very informative. Always find a lot of great information. And there's my glasses. You'll also find out some information about this great charity as well. Thanks again, people.